friends, and thank you very much for being here this Saturday morning. As you know, this briefing is about the forthcoming visit of Vice President to Tajikistan. Vice President will be visiting Tajikistan from 14th to 17th of this month. India and Tajikistan have been having very high-level visits on a regular basis. For those of you who perhaps may not be aware, President Rahman has visited India 5 times. From our side, the last visit was by President Pratibha Patil, and prior to that it was Prime Minister Vajpayee. I have here with me Joint Secretary Eurasia, Mr. Ajay Bisaria, who will brief you on the visit of the Vice President. And what we will do is follow the usual process. That is, I will ask Mr. Bisaria to make opening remarks, which will provide you a broad picture of the visit, following which we will be open to any questions that you would like to ask on the Vice President's visit. And subsequent to that, if any of you may have 1 or 2 questions on anything else, we will be willing to answer that. Without much ado, I will ask Joint Secretary Mr. Bisaria to make his opening remarks.
Thank you, Akbar. Good morning. I think when we talk about this part of the world, Central Asia, it's always useful to have some maps. So I'm going to put on the screen a couple of maps for you to see what we're talking about. Well, as Akbar said, the Vice President of India, Shri Hamid Ansari, will be on an official visit to Tajikistan from 14th to 17th of April. This will be the first ever visit by any Vice President of India to Tajikistan. During his visit, the Vice President is expected to meet with His Excellency Mr. Emomali Rahmon, who is the President of Tajikistan. He will also hold talks with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Minister, the Minister of Economic Development and Trade, and the Defense Minister of Tajikistan, apart from meeting the chairman of the Majlis Milli, which is the upper house of Parliament of Tajikistan. The Vice President is also expected to visit the Tajik Technical University, where India set up a India-Tajikistan Modern Engineering Workshop, which was inaugurated in 2011. He's also expected to visit a city called Nurek in the Khatlon province in southern Tajikistan. The Vice President will be accompanied by Mrs. Ansari and a high-level delegation comprising Minister of State for Agriculture and Food, Shri Tariq Anwar, Dr. M.S. Gill, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Shri G.N. Ratanpuri, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Shrimati Harsimrat Kaur Badal, MP Lok Sabha, and Shri Chandan Mitra, MP of the Rajya Sabha. I think let's just get to the next map. What I'm going to do is just talk of some background of the bilateral relationship to give a context to the visit. Well, relations between India and Tajikistan have been very close and cordial in the 2 decades of Tajikistan's independence. Exchange of visits at high levels have served to cement bilateral ties. As Akbar mentioned, Prime Minister Vajpayee had visited in 2003. President Pratibha Devi Singh Patil paid a state visit in September 2009. And of course, President Rahman has been a regular visitor to India. He's visited 5 times in 95, 99, 2001, 2006, and most recently in September 2012. During his last visit, India and Tajikistan elevated their relationship to the level of a strategic partnership encompassing cooperation in a very wide spectrum of areas. We signed bilateral documents in many areas, including textiles, culture, education, sport, health, and labor, apart from agreements with private Indian companies. During the visit, India announced several new development projects in Tajikistan, including an IT Center of Excellence, an e-network, this is a pan-Central Asia e-network, which would include tele-education and telemedicine delivery in the region, medical centers, language laboratories, and entrepreneurship development institute, and various small development projects. Tajikistan, as you would see from the map, has immense geostrategic significance. It has borders with China for over 520 kilometers, which were recently settled. It has a border with Afghanistan of 1,425 kilometers. This is a very porous border and adds to the geostrategic significance of the region. The Afghan-Wakhan corridor, which you see a little sliver of in blue, is at its narrowest point 16 kilometers, which would mean that the distance between Tajikistan and Pakistan occupied Kashmir is just that much, 16 kilometers. India has, let's move to the next map of Tajikistan. Well, India has strong civilizational ties with Tajikistan. We have linguistic similarities in customs, food, music, arts. These roots stretch into the depths of history from ancient times, even before the Kushan period in the 1st century AD. These ancient links have now a strong resonance, we are proud to say, in our modern ties with Tajikistan. In terms of the bilateral relationship, we have several very strong consultative mechanisms which have been reinforced by high-level visits. We have Foreign Office consultations, a joint working group on counter-terrorism. We have a joint commission meeting regularly on trade, economic, scientific cooperation, and we also have a working group on defense cooperation. In keeping with the very close bilateral relations, we've responded several times to humanitarian crises in Tajikistan. India's project assistance in the form of grants has also been significant. In 1995, for the first time, India extended a credit line of $5 million to Tajikistan to establish a joint venture with a private Indian company in the pharma sector. This and the accrued interest was converted into a grant later. Similarly, in 2003, India helped set up a fruit processing plant in Dushanbe, which was commissioned in 2005. And we provided a grant in 2003 for setting up an IT center in Dushanbe, which was inaugurated in 2006, started functioning in the name of the Bedil India Tajikistan Center for IT. And this has been a very successful model, which is why it's being replicated now. During the state visit of President Rahmon, we committed to undertake, this was in 2006, we committed to undertake the rehabilitation and modernization of a 1936 vintage Varzob hydropower station. And this has recently been completed in December 2012 and inaugurated. So it's a very strong development partnership that India has with Tajikistan. Apart from that, we have a very strong and close defense relations. India has played a major role in development of infrastructure at the Gisar military aerodrome, which was inaugurated by President Rahmon himself in October 2010. And India is also training a large number of Tajik officers and cadets, both within Tajikistan as well as by sending them to various military courses in India, including the NDA and the IMA. The level of trade between our countries is low for one very obvious reason, which is the transportation difficulties for this and access to this landlocked country. The usual route for transportation of goods from India is, or the most popular route right now, is by sea to Bandar Abbas in Iran, and from Bandar Abbas by land. This is time-consuming, it's costly, and of late, for those of you who've been following this region, we have taken several initiatives to re-energize the north-south transport corridor, and we are also talking of trans-Afghan corridors, which give us special access to Tajikistan. In terms of trade for 2012, trade figures from Tajikistan say it was $27 million, extremely low, mainly Indian export of meats and meat products and pharmaceuticals, iron and steel and apparel and clothing accessories. We had the 7th session of the Joint Commission, which has laid a blueprint for trying to improve this level of trade, that met in February 2013 and identified a series of measures to accelerate our economic relations. Apart from the development partnership, India has also contributed to capacity building in Tajikistan in a very strong way. There's the ITEC program is extremely popular. During the visit of President Rahmon, the number of seats was increased from 100 to 150, and there continues to be a strong demand, particularly for courses in information technology, diplomacy, banking, etc. One happy development for Tajikistan has been that it has joined the WTO in December 2012, and we hope that will give an impetus to trade, bilateral trade, as well as Tajikistan's integration into the global economy. And of course, India and Tajikistan have coordinated closely in UN bodies and international organizations as well. So let me stop right there, and I'll be happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Just hold on, please, the mic.
So since the MOS Agriculture and Food is accompanying the Vice President, will there be any agreements relating to food and agriculture or any other agreements?
Well, let me just make an overall comment. Visits by the Vice President are normally goodwill visits, and we see them as a high-level continuation of a political dialogue with a very close strategic partner in Central Asia. Normally, during these visits, we don't have deliverables like agreements, but we certainly expect a conversation to take place on this issue, to take forward the discussions that took place in September last year. And incidentally, in the agriculture sector, you know that Tajikistan is very strong in cotton. There was a great deal of discussion during the visit of President Rahmon last year, and we expect some further discussion to take place. Sure.
Well, the Vice President has a background of foreign affairs. Has he been working in that area in his previous avatar, or does he know him personally, the President of Dushanbe?
Yes, the Vice President has worked in the contiguous area. As you know, that he was ambassador in Iran, which is, and Tajikistan's roots are all Persian. So he is I would say, an expert in the region. Apart from the fact that he has met President Rahmon personally, and he's met, in fact, most of the leaders of Central Asia personally, and has strong personal equations with them. He is, I believe, a scholar of the region and knows the history, background, and culture very well. And we feel that this will certainly come into play when in his conversations with the leadership.
Sir, is there any movement on the setting up of a hospital, of a military hospital facility in Tajikistan, a new one? And you mentioned the airbase at Ayani. Now, have the Indians disengaged and handed over, or are they still engaged in sort of jointly running it and operating it?
Well, as I said, the India has at the GMA Aini Air Force base, the air base, India has contributed in terms of helping in renovation and reconstruction of that airport and making it state of the art. It's a military airfield, and India continues to be engaged there in training, and we have a military training team present at the venue, as well as for training cadets or young Tajik military officers, both in Tajikistan as well as I said, in India. On the hospital, yes, there is talk going on of creating a hospital, and you'll come to know when it's done.
Dr. Awad?
Is there any contingency plan regarding the post-2014, the withdrawal of the combat forces? I mean, there's an Afghanistan issue, because it is one of the concern area for both the countries. Thank you.
Well, certainly, We expect Afghanistan to be in focus in the conversation that Vice President has with the leadership in Tajikistan. Even when President Rahmon was here in September 2012, that was a very important area for discussion. As I mentioned, Tajikistan is extremely concerned about the situation in Afghanistan. They have a 1,425 kilometer very porous border. There have been some troubling incidents in the south, in the Badakhshan region, and some Afghan mercenaries have been involved. So we have, as I mentioned, a counter-terrorism working group. We will certainly have a conversation on the situation in Afghanistan, and particularly, as you said, the situation as it will unfold post-2014 and the ISAF withdrawal.
Sir, do we have fighter planes stationed there in Tajik air bases?
No, we do not. And at GMA, as I said, we have reconstructed an airfield, and that is the extent of our engagement there.
Yes, Dr. Suman.
Sir, do you have any long-term business plan with Tajikistan being one of the central countries in the Central Asia?
Well, I think we just defined the elements of our long-term business plan. We have a very high level of engagement with Tajikistan. The president of Tajikistan was here. The vice president of India is going there, and we have very strong we've declared a strategic partnership, and we have very strong areas of cooperation in multiple sectors, including defense and on the trade side. So I think there is a blueprint for very long-term coordination.
Just to understand that who are the other competing forces in China, also the competing forces in the business plan with Tajikistan, the competing forces, competing countries there.
Well, I am not here to comment on behalf of China or Russia or other forces, but let's just say that there are a number of active countries with whom Tajikistan incidentally has good relations, and that includes Russia, China, as well as the US. So that is a question you should put to our Tajik friends.
Anyone else? Just a minute.
Sir, I have a question related to Bangladesh.
We will answer those questions a little later. First, any more questions related to Tajikistan?
Are there any Indian firms in Tajikistan?
Indian firms? We have a very limited presence of Indian firms. There is one group from Bangalore called Khode, which is trying to get active in Tajikistan. There is a wonderful 5-star hotel coming up by the Crown Plaza Group in Dushanbe. And those are 2 or 3 stories or exceptional stories. BHEL, of course, is active as a public sector organization because of Tajikistan's huge hydroelectric potential and their need to develop hydroelectric energy, where we want to coordinate with them. But there is a limited presence of Indian companies in Dushanbe.
So Khode, are they making rum there?
No.
They are famous for their rum.
Yes.
That's
That's bad news.